Good morning again, Year 4. I apologise for the English again yesterday. I'm not too sure what happened. Unfortunately, with remote learning, there are going to be these anomalies with uploads and these things are going to happen. Hopefully you enjoyed having a little bit of a break from English for a day then maybe. We can make that up at the start of next week in a just quick 15-20 minute hit. It doesn't affect these 2 days, so don't worry too much. Let me just share my screen with you to tell you what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be creating a blurb. I thought it'd be interesting for you over the next couple of days to think about your own story, your own sort of like mini book, and actually create a blurb for it and create a front cover for it instead of just doing all the writing all the time. It just gives us a chance to break that learning up. Okay, so before we begin, as a starter, can you choose 2 of our SPAG focus words and use them in a sentence? And these are the words with the us or eus suffix. Okay, so mysterious, or it could be hazardous. It's entirely up to you. Go for it and then join us on the next slide. So, today we'll be writing a short blurb for our hot tar stories. Before we do anything then, just because we didn't have that planning lesson, can you, in a second, pause the video and just think about what your defeat the monster tale is going to be on? Where's it going to be set? Is it going to be a castle? Is it going to be a hall? Where is it? What's your monster going to be like? What's your hero or heroine going to be like? Think carefully just about what your story is actually really going to be focused on. Remember, it has to be about defeating a monster because that is our focus. Have a think about that. Then have a think about what is a blurb and why do books have blurbs? Are they a waste of time or are they actually quite important? So the blurb is that little bit of writing at the back of a book. We have blurbs on books mainly to give the person an insight as to what the book is about. If you're walking around the library, the first thing you do is you normally look at the front cover and you look at the back and you'll read the blurb. Oh, the blurb is telling me that this is some form of adventure story. Or I quite like adventure stories, I might carry on. Or it's about a young character who goes on a voyage to blah, blah, blah. That sounds really interesting. I want to read that book. Or you might pick it up and it's all about, it's a crime novel and you read the first couple of lines and you think, well, I don't like detective novels. They're not my favorite books that I'm going to read for pleasure. So I'm going to put that one back down. Sure, it's a great book, but not a book that I would personally enjoy. Blurbs are really important. They captivate the audience. They're what help authors sell their books. So they're certainly not a waste of time. They're very important. It also tells me roughly who the main characters are and what the main plot of the story is. It normally gives me a couple of critiques as well. Quite often newspaper articles will recommend the books and they'll put it in there. Let's have a look at some examples. Which books do you think these blurbs are for? One morning, Bill wakes up to find he's a girl. And worse, his mum makes him wear a pink frock to school. Can the day get any worse? Bill's about to discover that everything is very different for girls. And then we have a couple of critiques here. Stylishly written and thought-provoking, say The Guardian. A gem, say TES. The next one. You want to be a firework maker? Walk into my flames.
I don't have an opinion.
Alexa doesn't have an opinion apparently on if she wants to be a firework maker. That's always interesting. So more than anything else in the world, Lila wants to be a firework maker. But every firework maker must make a perilous journey to face the terrifying fire fiend. Can Lila possibly survive? Especially when she doesn't know she needs special protection to survive his flames. And then we have a couple of critiques there again. And then the third book, can you guess this one? Bilbo Baggins is a hobbit who enjoys a comfortable, unambitious life, rarely travelling any farther than his pantry or cellar. But his contentment is disturbed when a wizard Gandalf and a company of dwarves arrive on his doorstep one day to whisk him away on an adventure. I'm going to stop there. Hopefully you're getting the point that the blurb normally always mentions the title, a main character, and a main plot or problem. Hopefully we guessed that it's Bill's new frock in the first one. Instantly, we know that it's Bill. It actually mentions the word frock, and the problem is that he wakes up dressed as a girl. Firework maker, we know that that one hopefully is the firework maker's daughter. We're introduced to Lila, and the problem that we get is the fact that she's got to make the perilous journey to try and defeat the fire fiend, but she doesn't have the protection that she's supposed to have. And then finally, we've got the hobbits, and Bilbo Baggins is someone who we get introduced to, and he doesn't like leaving his house, but a wizard and some dwarves whisk him off to an adventure. And there are lots of different problems that he encounters. It mentions a dragon in there. Okay, and then we've also got our reviews, our critiques at the bottom. So the first line when you write your own ones, a sentence about the main character. This should be your hero or heroine of the story, not the monster, not the problem. The second section there, you want to introduce the main problem of the story. So it might be the fact that the monster attacks the castle. In Bill's new frock, it's all about the fact that he wakes up dressed as a girl in a pink frock. It can be in here, facing the terrifying fire fiend. In here, the dragon. At the end, quite often, there's a rhetorical question as well. Can the day get any worse? Can Lila possibly survive? So that may be something that you want to include. Finally, some really positive reviews as a quote. A glorious account of a magnificent adventure filled with suspense and seasoned with a quiet humour that is irresistible. And that goes on, and that's one from the New York Times book review. So you want some excellent reviews to really big up your book. So people read it and go, wow, that sounds amazing. And what brilliant reviews from the New York Times book review. Okay, so that is going to be your task, I would say, to leave this page up as a bit of inspiration. Good luck, enjoy it. I look forward to reading your blurbs. Have fun.